A Patch of Blue was a hit at the box office, even doing well in the South, though the kiss between Sidney Poitier and Elizabeth Hartman was removed for Southern audiences. The film was also embraced at the Oscars, nominated for 5 Academy Awards and winning 1 for Shelley Winters as Best Supporting Actress. Sidney Poitier had worked with screenwriter Guy Green on the script to get it to a place where he was happy, but by the end of production on A Patch of Blue, he said he was at his wit's end. As a black actor in 1960s Hollywood, he struggled to get interesting roles, especially romantic ones, because inevitably he was paired with a white actress. As Poitier said, either there were no women or there was a woman, but she was blind, or the relationship was of a nature that satisfied the taboos. Poitier continued to push for better representation on screen, and his legacy looms large today. All right, it's time for a comedy on TCM. After this break, Kim Novak gets the better of a group of men in Boys' Night Out from 1962. I'll be back soon. Stay with us.
How many girls in America wish they could literally fly from their hometowns to Hollywood to be cast in a leading role for a major motion picture? For Elizabeth Hartman, who makes her film debut as a blind girl in A Patch of Blue, this amazing success story is a dream come true. Between dramatic scenes with stars Sidney Poitier and Shelley Winters on MGM's Lot 2, Elizabeth is free to wander, to view such historic sets as this original mansion from Gone with the Wind, and to wonder how stardom came so quickly. To tell the story of Miss Hartman's discovery, here is the director, Mr. Guy Green.
About 2 weeks before filming was scheduled to begin, Elizabeth came to MGM for her first interview with producer Pandro Berman and myself. Her only theatrical experience was with little theater groups in Youngstown, Ohio, and since she was but one of 50 girls being interviewed, she knew how slim her chances were. Wanting the role desperately, Elizabeth showed an intensity that's basic to the really fine actress. This and her charm decided us to give her a screen test the very next day. Here is one scene from that test, which convinced us completely that she could handle the role.
3 Apple, take 1.
Speed. Action.
Are they red?
Yes.
I don't think they are red.
The roses are white.
They must be beautiful. Why did you say they were red?
I'm sorry, I was wrong. I thought you wanted them to be red.
You were being kind. Don't ever tell me anything not true about feelings, thoughts, or the color of things. Isn't it cruel to be kind sometimes?
Sometimes very cruel, and sometimes it's kind to be cruel.
That I don't hold with. That I don't like. Promise you won't be kind to me. At least not today.
All right, cut. That was fine, Elizabeth. Now, that's the end of the acting test, and I want to do a personality test. So if you'll go and change into your own clothes, I'll just talk to you in front of the camera, okay?
Okay, fine.
All right, George, the next setup is a long shot of the girl. Our only other concern was whether Elizabeth could project her qualities onto motion picture film. Here is a scene from her personality test, and you can judge the outcome for yourself. What kind of clothes do you like?
I like very tasteful clothes that can be worn for a number of years. I don't like fads of any kind.
For a number of years, eh?
Yes.
Now, where are you going from here, when you leave here?
Well, I'll go back home to Youngstown, Ohio.
I don't know where that is. Where is it?
It's in the... Well, the only way I know how to tell you where it is, it's between Cleveland and Pittsburgh, right in the middle.
In the middle of America?
No, it's not in the middle of America.
So what's it in the middle of?
It's in the middle of... I really don't know how to describe it. It's over this way when you look at the map. It's Ohio. And it's over this way.
Returning to Hollywood, Elizabeth joined me for a trip to the Braille Institute of America to begin preparations for her compelling portrayal of a helpless blind girl in need of human contact and understanding. Elizabeth watched with deep interest as the blind were taught to work with their hands to use a needle and thread. We walked through the halls of a model American apartment house, watching instructors of the Braille Institute work to teach the blind such taken-for-granted duties as ironing, preparing food, opening drawers, and reading in Braille from signs such as this one posted on the dining room wall in the model apartment. It was not long until filming was to begin, and I must admit I was very happy to be able to introduce Elizabeth to Sidney Poitier and the various members of our motion picture production crew. Pandro Berman also came down to the set to oversee the start of production on this, his 110th film. Our first scene of the day was the one in which Sidney teaches the young blind girl how to use a telephone. And while I began to bring the camera into position, Sidney and Elizabeth went to work on their dialogue. Although Elizabeth was comparatively inexperienced, I soon discovered that she had a sure instinct that made directing scenes between her and a brilliant actor like Sidney Poitier both exciting and very productive. In fact, they quickly began to create a kind of magic between them. For example, this is what our first day's work will look like on the motion picture screen.
5, 5, 5, 3, 2, 6, 8.
Right.
3, 2, 6.
Pick up the receiver. Here's a dime.
This one?
Mm-hmm. That's the one.
Operator? I'm blind and I can't read the dial. Would you please get me 5, 5, 5, 3, 2, 6, 8. Thank you. They're doing it. It's ringing. The number doesn't answer. It's a shame to trouble him for nothing.
Sorry I wasn't in.
What's that?
Well, your money comes back when nobody answers. Here.
Hey. Here.
And you keep it for good luck. Ah, you got that? Okay.
All right, cut.
With the scene completed, the cast and crew gather around Director Green for a photo, a souvenir to remind Elizabeth Hartman of the lucky chain of events that brought her motion picture stardom in A Patch of Blue.